Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Decryption and I hope you are well. Let me regale you with a story. The year was 2023 and it was the month of May. For the Ludum Dare game jam, the theme voting had begun. I started looking down the themes, all of them bringing good ideas, most of them were good, some of them were not, so it's pretty normal. Next came the final round, and this is where it gets odd. Normally, my votes are mostly green, positive, happy to vote for the theme. However, this time it was split in half. Exactly. 8 positive, 8 negative. Very mixed. Time passed until the clock struck 11 and then the theme was released. Delivery? What the f***? In today's video, we will look at my game Apocalypse Express, a game based on the theme Delivery, where you run around in a zombie-filled world collecting packages for a warring faction. This is the post-implementation review, where we look at what went right, what went wrong, what I would change, did I improve since last time, what did I learn, viewer feedback, ratings reviewed, and the next plans. So, many things went right in this game. Time was clearly my ally for the vast majority of the project, once I actually figured out what I wanted to do. Once I had my idea, it was all falling into place at the right time. I used new synthi packs I'd not used before, I finally had a need to implement narrative into a project, and I finally made an FPS. I've never made one before, at least one where you actually shoot anyway. I managed to crack the story out pretty quickly, and I had a nice stopping point with room to expand. Big inspirations were from Dying Light and Days Gone, and I even managed to crack out multiple versions of AI, which from my past experiences have never gone so smoothly as it did this time. The gameplay was good, very little performance issues, I had dialogue, quests, and explorable areas. It was a good game. I even managed to have time to sneak in some Easter eggs at the end. Hint, shoot the nuke. Depending how you finish the quests, the world would actually modify. In the second quest you have to collect some parcels for the enforcers. The more parcels you collect, the more weapons that will spawn in your base. By the end of it, it's actually my favourite game to date. It was also the best timing for us in the UK because we had a bank holiday on the Monday, meaning I got a full extra day to crack on. So I did actually get off to a very bad start and a little bad in the middle, but around that it was okay. I've been honest throughout the jam, Delivery was not a theme I wanted to do. It sounded way too generic, it pops up every single jam, and every single jam I'm voted negative, but it always comes back. So I was a little put off when I woke up and saw the theme Delivery. I was more going for the Parasite, Shelter, Salvage themes, they sounded really cool. So going into the jam I was a little lost for ideas. Normally when a jam starts I'm pretty good at getting a lot of ideas in a short space of time, but this time I ended up spending 4 to 6 hours thinking what to do, looking around packs, looking for inspiration, because I didn't want to roll a game out where it was just the same thing every time that everybody's going to do. I had a quest with optional objectives, but I ended up spending 6 hours trying to figure out why it wasn't working. You'd pick up an optional objective, you could no longer continue the quest. You could pick up a main objective, you could no longer complete the quest. It was only until I removed the optionals that you could actually finish the quest or remove the main quest that you could do it. It was just bugs everywhere. And then it turned out it was nothing to do with me. There was a bug in the plugin I was using, and it corrupted the optional quests. My original plan was to have at least 5 missions, with at least 3 gangs being integrated, but with the bug banging in the middle, I just lost most of my time, so I couldn't do it. Now for the big question. If I could redo this project, or I had more time, what would I change? Now here's the conflicting thing. I wouldn't actually change a lot of things. Most of it is completely fine, and the game itself works exactly how I wanted it to. But the only thing I would do is continue with my original plan. I'd also add some more weapons and skill tree like elements, but they're optional if I had enough time anyway. Spoilers. If you want to play the game, this section is going to spoil the game. Skip to the next section, Did I Improve Since Last Time, to dodge it. So the game only contains 2 quests. The first one is to find some food at the local restaurant, and the second was to steal some weapons from a hidden facility one of the other gangs was looking after. After this point, you were supposed to go and rescue one of the members for the enforcers, the gang that you're with, that was captured by another faction. After breaking in to find them, it turned out they changed groups and you fell right into a trap. From here, you have a choice. You can ignore them and then basically just die, game over. Or you could take their quest and get some packages from the middle of a zombie horde. Each quest you did for a faction would change the rankings within the world. Get a negative ranking and the entire faction, if they see you, would attack you. Get a high ranking and the factions would repay you in money, gifts and protection. All this was built in, I just didn't have time to do anything with it. As per normal, regular viewers of my channel would know, each time I set a list of goals I would like to achieve, and then on the next jam I revisit the previous list and see if I've achieved. Last time I wanted to plan tasks out ahead of time. Better planning, more notes, more structure. I absolutely did not do this. I went in confused, took me ages to figure out what I wanted to do, and then it didn't fail because it just seemed to work this time, but it still wasn't planned correctly like I'd like it to. The next was to get better animations. Sadly, I've not solved this yet. Mocap suits are expensive, and hiring somebody to do animations is also expensive, but I'm working towards it. Like and subscribe to help me out. Last time, I raised getting over the phobia of trying new gameplay styles, and I absolutely did do this. I made a first-person shooter with guns, reloads, dialogue, and way better AI than I've ever done. The final thing I needed to do was get better at lighting. Sadly, this is another fail. I didn't really get better lighting, I just stuck a directional lighting and then left it. When you got into a building and it was too dark, I added a torch. So overall, I didn't improve everything since last time, and only really improved one thing. But I wouldn't say that's a bad thing. These improvements are critical to the jam, and there are long-term goals, so I'm pretty happy. So this time, what did I learn and some features going forwards? The main new skill is the first person shooting. To get a basic shooter is super simple and can only be improved going forwards. I also learned to try and adapt to bugs quicker rather than resolving them. You are on a tight deadline. If a bug is taking up longer than you'd assume, scrap the bug and try to find another way around it, unless you absolutely can't. In my case, the optional quests weren't working. It's in the title, it's optional, so I should have scrapped them at the start, but instead I kept hunting, and in the end it didn't matter because it was out of my control anyway. The next thing is to just embrace world building. I built a very nice world in the buildings and such. I had fun doing it, it was very nice. The final thing I've learned is Unreal's pain causing volumes. These are triggers that apply damage when anyone walks into them. You can change how the damage acts, what it reports as. It's really easy way to make damageable areas. So overall, the feedback from the comments I've had are actually really positive. The vast majority of people loved how much content I'd managed to fit into the game with such a short time frame. Pairing quests, dialogue, synthi packs and all the ideas in the game was tough, but it made for an epic game. Only one person said they have performance issues, and that could entirely be down to their hardware. So overall it's highly a positive. Nobody had a negative thing to say, which made it a very pleasing review. I just loved the few comments that pulled up. They felt playing the game that there was more planned, but it abruptly ended, and they hit the nail. And they hit the nail on the head right there. I did have so much more planned, and it was all achievable, except with these bugs. So this is the big time. Taking a look at my ratings. So the ratings are broke down into categories. When you play a game, you vote it based on how it did in each area. The first is innovation. This is how unique a game is. Does it do something unexpected, or is it something completely different? Fun? This is how much you enjoyed playing the game. Not everybody's going to have fun playing your game, but did you play it over and over again, or did you get lost in the game so much that you completely skipped time? Theme is how well your game suited the theme. Is it blatantly obvious what the theme is when you play the game without knowing it? Is the theme put in your face all the time, or did they not even use the theme at all? Graphics, this is an optional one. How good the game looks. Is the visual style, the artwork, or anything like that really nice? Has the developer put a lot of time into it? This is optional because you can outvote this category. Which audio, this is another optional category. How is the audio in the game? The voice, the background music, the UI sound, everything. Is it any good? Humor. How humorous is the game? Is it funny? Is it not funny at all? Is it strictly serious? This will entirely determine what people think of your game. Is it a comedy? Is it a horror? Mood? How is the storytelling in the game? How is the emotion? Do you get really sad when a character dies or something like that? And finally, overall, what is your overall feeling for the game? Give it a rate. How did it impact you, and how do you like it? So this is the next bit which I'm a bit nervous about, because we're going off the script now, so I may stutter a little bit here and there, but I've not seen my ratings yet. They came out yesterday, and it's now 2:30 PM roughly the next day, and I'm going to go and look at my ratings for the first time. I have not seen them. Okay, that's not too bad. So overall in the games there were 2,309 people who submitted a game. I scored overall 663rd. A 3.5 average from 30 ratings. That's not overall bad. I was hoping for a little bit higher. I got higher last year and my game was less detailed than this game was, but it's still top 1,000. It's easily very good. The fun, 697. That's pretty good. Happy with that. Innovation's a bit disappointing. 1,030. People didn't really think my game was that innovative, but then again, it is just Dying Light, so okay, I can kind of understand that one. Theme, 941st. People kind of got the theme. I did put hints everywhere that it was delivery, so I'm not sure about that one. Audio, 439. I'm kind of happy with that, but kind of disappointed because I just used AI voices, so I'm not sure about that one. Humour, 679th, so people thought it was okay, it's pretty funny, which is not too bad. And mood, 461st. So I'm pretty happy with the mood. The storytelling, people really did like the storytelling, so I'm happy with that. So overall, it's not too bad. I'm happy with the score. It's not super exciting, but it's not mega disappointing, so yeah. So the next plans, like I said last time, I was going to continue with my Men in Blue game, a detective game where you find aliens. I did really want to continue with it, and yeah, I didn't. I do want to go back to it eventually because I want to make it into a demoable game, but I've not even opened the project. Last time I remember, I was trying to make the Cinti models support ARM-based animations, but I just kept running into rigging issues all the time. But I haven't stopped. Instead, I've been learning more C++ to modify plugins. I've been freelancing in Unreal to help more companies out. And I've been gaining so much exposure and hammering out my YouTube tutorials. I absolutely have zero plan to stop the tutorials, or the freelancing to be fair. And I have some big ideas in the pipelines, I've just got to work out a few plans first. So that is Apocalypse Express, my 53rd Ludum Dare game. It's been a fun run-around game to deliver packages in a zombie-filled world. I had a lot of fun working on it, and a lot of positive comments. Overall, it's a okay score. It's definitely top 1,000, so I'm in like the top third easily. It's just not as big as I was hoping it'd be. A lot of the scores are quite low. The next jam is going to be the GMTK game in July. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment and subscribe as I have some big plans in motion, and I will see you next time.